Hello everyone, and welcome back to the second part of our breathing techniques. I'm Claire from Yoga Tums, and I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about the breathing techniques that are really useful going through into the second part of the earlier stages. So in the first video we talked about the latent phase. So this is really the very, very early stages of labour, when things are starting to progress, where we've had like a little bit of pain in the tummy, a little bit of almost like a period type pain. And this is going to help dilate you through to around about 3 centimetres. So we're now moving in now to the active stage. It's kind of like the later stages. So this stage of labour, the contractions are going to be quite a lot more prominent now. They really are starting to kick in, and the cervix is going to start to open more and more at this point. So it's going to be opening from around 3 centimetres, which is about this much, right up to 10 centimetres. And also there's something called an effacement happening, which is where not only is the cervix opening, but also it's shortening as well. Okay. So unlike the latent stage, the contractions are going to be a lot more often now, so as close as like 3 to 4 minutes, and then they're going to last for anything from 60 seconds to 90 seconds. So things are really going to start to become more prominent now. So as you advance through this active stage, your cervix dilates, the contractions become stronger. And it'll come to a point where you feel like you can't really talk through those contractions quite as well as before. And so you'll need to start bringing some focus into this through breath. All right, so this is what I'm here for. We're going to be going through the breath work that's really super useful for this time. Okay, so during this stage of labour, you may want to, you may start to feel a little bit different, okay? So you may start to feel like you've lost your appetite a little bit. Grabbing hold of an isotonic drink really helps keep those energy levels up, those ketones up, that are essential for keeping labour progressing beautifully. So we're going to be working through breath work and seeing if we can get that real nice state of oxytocin all the way up, and keep everything flowing. First breath we do. So you might find that you kind of combine different breaths together. So you would have perhaps like an Ujjayi breath, which we're going to be looking at in a moment, and maybe combining that with a golden thread breath. We'll go through that later. So horse breath is probably one of the ones where you'll feel like you have been crunching down on your jaw. When we're naturally in pain, we tend to tense, okay? We will naturally tense our bodies. And when this jaw starts to tense up, you will find that the pelvic floor doesn't work quite as well as it should do. So it's vital that you soften your face. And I have a little saying that I use in my classes, and that is, release the jaw, soften the floor. Okay, and if you just imagine that you're going to be softening all of your face, softening the jaw as well, that's going to help everything else relax, and your baby's going to be able to start moving down the birth canal beautifully. Okay, so if you're finding that's happening, you're really tensing down, just bring yourself into a very silly breath. I know it sounds really silly, but just a little horse breath. Let everything be loose, let it all kind of hang out and just start to be a little bit looser. Okay, so another breath that's really good, and this is when contractions start to become a little bit more sharp, and that is the cooling the soup breath. Okay, so imagine that you've got a bowl of soup right in front of you, and you're basically going to be blowing just very gently. So as you're inhaling in through the nose, exhaling just gently. Obviously you won't be there holding the said bowl of soup, but that's just a little visual aid there. But simply bringing the breath in through the nose and just blowing, because when you blow like that, there's a very cooling effect that happens with the breath. And that is going to just disengage the jaw a little bit, okay, and it's going to soften everything. But it also gives you that focus, something to be working towards and visualizing. So when those contractions get quite sharp, because at times they will be doing, I want you to imagine it's almost like you're cooling this soup or blowing candles out. It's a similar kind of thing. Candle breath and cooling the soup breath are very, very similar, same principle. So let's have a practice together. Get yourself nice and comfy, get yourself onto a cushion just like I am. You don't have to sit like me, just getting yourself comfy. And then we're going to practice that together now. So as we're inhaling and exhaling, blowing the soup. Lovely, one more. Excellent, okay. So that's your cooling the soup or candle breath. So in the cooling the soup, obviously you're trying to blow the soup, make it cooler, or candle breath, you're trying to make the flames dance, almost like you're trying to blow the candle out, but not quite. Next breath is golden thread breath. Oh my goodness, this is probably one of the best breaths that you can use, okay? So golden thread breath is purely visualization. And it's probably one of the most versatile breaths that you can use, so irrespective if you're in a latent stage, coming into your active, into second stage, whatever. This breath, you can use it whenever, and if you take nothing else from these breathing techniques, if you can just remember this one breath, then you are good to go. You're going to be really helping yourself and your baby. Okay, so I'd like you to bring yourself back into that comfortable seat once again. We're going to close the eyes. I'm going to make sure that the spine is lovely and tall. I'm going to draw those shoulders down away from the ears. And at this moment, simply breathing in and out through the nose. Okay, so with your golden thread, you're breathing in through the nose. And as you exhale, blowing out of the mouth. And as you're exhaling, you're imagining that there's this beautiful golden thread that's spiraling from your lips, and the gap between your lips is just so very little that you could almost fit a piece of paper in between those lips. And so you're imagining this beautiful spiral glittering golden thread, and it's going further and further away. So let's practice that together, inhaling and exhaling. Each exhalation, you're seeing if there's any way that you can increase that exhale. Allow that golden thread just to travel just a tiny bit more than the last time. Couple more breaths, inhaling. And afterwards, it's quite a wonderful, calming feeling. So I've had that focus on the breath. So the brain really does take a message from that and starts to calm down, everything starting to ground and center. So it really is quite vital that you practice that breath as much as you possibly can. Okay, so the last part of this section is where the partner gets involved, your birthing partner. Okay, so as contractions get stronger, having that person there to help support you is really, really helpful. And so what can happen is that the partner, your birthing partner, can actually sit right behind you. Okay, so as you can see my lower back here. So sometimes, particularly when you're labouring, if you're having a back-to-back labour, you may be feeling a lot of the contractions are actually coming into here. So having your partner just take a little massage here anyway is really, really good. So squeezing into the hips, into the back. But in terms of breathing, when your partner goes towards the lower part of the back, just like I have been doing, and the partner's going to put their hands there at the lower part of the back. Okay, and we're actually going to practice this in our pregnancy yoga class soon. We're going to be practicing partner yoga. So we're going to be practicing this hand gesture coming into the back. And as you're breathing and your diaphragm and lungs are expanding, everything's starting to come in towards those hands. Okay, so you're actually breathing into your partner's hands. So as you're breathing in, you're feeling that pressure of the hands, gentle pressure. As you exhale, you're moving away. So simply breathing into hands, breathing away. So inhale, everything expands, exhale, moving away. Okay, so that's one way that a partner can help. Another way is you could sit opposite each other and have your hands held, and as you're breathing in, you can move your hands further away, exhale, bringing them in. So it's just having that little visual focus as you're breathing in and breathing out. Okay, so just to clarify what we've been doing, we've been looking at horse breath to release the jaw a little bit when you've been clenching, cooling the soup or blowing the candle out breath, where you're just simply blowing that candle. So you could even do it with a little feather. You can even practice pretending you've got a feather and blowing the feather. We've also practiced the golden thread breath, the wonderful golden thread breath, which is just so versatile, and also looking at how a partner can help. Okay, so that's completing the earlier stages of labour. This is going to take you through from your 3 centimetre dilation all the way up to 10, and in the next videos we're going to be looking at the transitional stage of labour. Okay, so namaste, thank you so much for joining me for this little topic time, and I look forward to seeing you back here again. All right, bye everyone, bye.